Welcome back to Biblical Greek Tidbits. I've titled this video, Are We Double-Minded? It's perhaps a question that every Christian should ask himself. This question arises from reading the book of James, particularly chapter 4 verse 8 and chapter 1 verse 8. In those verses we find the Greek word dipsikos, which literally means double-minded. First, let's take a look at the references that I used in making this presentation. Here's a list of references that I used in preparing this video. I won't go over the list, but if you need to take a closer look, just pause the video. I recently started thinking again about the Greek word for double-minded, dipsikos, when reading section 3 of Kierkegaard's devotional address entitled Purity of Heart is to Will One Thing, where he quotes James 4:8. See reference 1 above. This is a wonderful little book, and I highly recommend it to you. It is a penetrating devotional address, first published in 1847. Kierkegaard died in 1855 at the age of 42. There are two occurrences of the word dipsikos in the Greek New Testament. This word, as far as I know, does not occur in the Greek Septuagint. The first occurrence is in James 1:8 and the second occurrence is in James 4:8. We will briefly look at these passages in the next few slides. We first look at some definitional information found in BDAG, that is to say, reference 5 above. We find the following information in BDAG. The definition of dipsikos is pertaining to being uncertain about the truth of something, doubting, hesitating, literally double-minded. It does not occur in the Septuagint. There are two occurrences in the Greek New Testament at James 1:8 and James 4:8. We will first look at James 4:8 on the next slide. I will read the verse using modern Greek pronunciation and then give the 1995 NASB English translation. Then we will look at James 1:8 with some contextual verses included. James 4:8 Engisate ta ta'o ke engii imin, katharisate kiras amartoli, ke agnisate kardias dipsiki. Translation: Draw near to God, and he will draw near to you. Cleanse your hands, you sinners, and purify your hearts, you double-minded. Parsing: dipsiki is a pronominal adjective, masculine gender, plural number, vocative case. The lexical form is dipsikos. In this verse, as I think Kierkegaard rightly elucidates, the notion of double-mindedness is related to the purification of the heart, about drawing near to God. As Paul states in Colossians 3:2, we set our affections on things above and not on things on the earth. Evidently, with a pure heart and clean hands, we no longer have a divided loyalty between the things of God and the things of this world. We are no longer double-minded. James 1 verses 5 through 8. Idhe tis imon lipete Sophias etito paratu didandas theu passin aplos ke me ani disandas ke the thisete afto. Etito the en pisti midhen diakonomenos agar diakonomenos euken klidani thalasis anemizamenu ke ripizameno migar iestho anthropos ekinos ati limpsite ti paratu kiriou, ania dipsikos, akatastatos, in passes tes adis aftu. Translation: But if any of you lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who gives to all generously and without reproach, and it will be given to him. But he must ask in faith without any doubting. For the one who doubts is like the surf of the sea, driven and tossed by the wind. For that man ought not to expect that he will receive anything from the Lord, being a double-minded man, unstable in all his ways. Parsing: Dipsikos is an adjective, masculine gender, singular number, nominative case. It's the lexical form. Here we seem to have a more restricted meaning for dipsikos than that found in James 4:8. We're not to doubt God when we ask him for wisdom, or presumably other things as well. We're double-minded when we doubt that God will grant us wisdom. Of course, we must first, in humility, agree that we truly lack wisdom when we ask. From the two-sided scripture passages above, we are warned about being double-minded. In the one, James 4:8, we are commanded to draw near to God, to cleanse our hands and purify our hearts. In this way, we will become single-minded, focused on His will, rather than falling into the snare of double-mindedness. In the other, James 1:8, we're instructed not to doubt God when we ask Him for wisdom. In single-mindedness, we must trust that He hears us and will grant our request. We must beware of double-mindedness in regard to our requests of God. Since most words have a range of meanings, sometimes called the semantic range, in any language, we rely on the context, immediate or expanded, to determine the author's meaning in a particular passage. As usual, I defer to real scholars on all matters of biblical Greek. Thank you for watching.